Here are the trade alerts for the last 48 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Shiba, Inu, Spell, DOT, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ford Motors, PLTR, NVIDIA given a red dot on the monthly chart. We got DAP, GST showing the weekly alerts. We got Ethereum again giving that weekly alert signal. We'll get to that signal here in just a second. We got KRL showing a green dot. Again, for those of you who are new, the green dots are the reversal signals, and the red dots are also a reversal signal. Red, though, means we're going down. Green means we're going up. Okay, so if you look at a chart here of Ethereum, okay, everything is fine as long as we hold 3K, folks. 3K is the level I'm watching. Okay, but we really need to, if we can break out over 35, folks, we're going to break out of this downtrend. You can see there's one forming right here. Okay, you can see this triangle forming, this pattern. Okay, we need to break out over it. We're back in the triangle now. Okay, so we need to break out over it. And yes, we do have a red dot showing this week. So the good thing about the red dot, though, is that it's only Monday. These candles form on Sunday. Okay, on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, that's 5 o'clock Pacific Time. I don't know where you're at in the world, but if you look up New York time, you get a new weekly candle. Again, we're weekly chart traders on this channel. We're trading based on weeks, not minutes. We're not day traders. We're trading based on the week. So we got the green dot buy alert on Ethereum right here at about 3,300. So it's sitting right at the price we got the buy signal from. I think as long as we hold 3K, we're still bullish on Ethereum here. This red dot's very interesting. This is going to be a big, big week for crypto. We really need to break out over this over that trend line there. If that can happen, folks, I think we're going to get a massive move higher. We also had Link given a red dot, Near given a red dot, FET, GRT, Algorand, Jasmine given a green dot on the weekly. We got Comp given a red dot on the weekly, Dot API 3, Rose, GST, Rari given a buy signal there on the weekly, and then we got Rivian given a sell signal on the weekly, CCL, DAP, PLTR, and Mara, the blockchain miner, is going to be the final one. We're going to be covering all these charts today and looking for setups, looking for potential entries and exits. And we're also going to be covering your guys' chart requests. If you guys got those throughout the week, we're dropping new videos Monday through Friday right here on the channel. So just get them over here to be covered in future videos. Again, Monday through Friday, we're dropping videos as long as we are in the office here. It's time to dial in. Let's take a look at some of these alerts we've been getting. The first one over here is going to be Mara. So you can see Mara right now is very extended on the weekly chart. So it's way up here. Again, as traders, we want to be buying down in this area. We want to be buying when the price is cheap and selling when it's expensive. So you do have a warning sign down there on Mara. I don't think it's the best time to be buying. The best time to be buying was down here in May. That was about $17. This thing tried to push up a couple weeks ago, but got rejected again. Once our blue stochastic, this light blue line, gets close to that white dotted line, that's when we need to start thinking about taking profits. So these crypto markets are just insane right now. So these crypto blockchain miners, right? The crypto miners, they're obviously going to move based on Bitcoin's price, and things are just very volatile right now. Like things are very, very choppy, and you do have the sell signal. So what I like to use in reference is the 4-hour chart. So you can see the 4-hour has a red dot right now. So I would say the true support on Mara right now that we need to hold is 1992. And that's just that level we got this big old dip down to. Okay, we did get a signal there on the 4-hour, but then today they just absolutely flushed it. That's a 10% candle today. Okay, that was all the way up at 22. It flushed all the way down. So this thing needs to hold 1992. Okay, 1992. And again, I don't like the fact that it's getting a red dot there on the weekly chart. So I just make sure if I'm holding this asset that it holds that 1990 level. Okay, you do not want it to break down that level. If it breaks down, well, I think we're going to have an opportunity to buy it lower, maybe around 16 or 17. But again, that is a sell signal from the indicator. And you can see what happened last time we got the sell signal up here. Okay, that was on the 4th of March at $27. It dipped all the way down to $14.15. I'm not saying this is going to continue here. It's just a warning sign. It's saying, hey, this is a very important level we need to hold. 1990 has to be the stop loss on Mara here. So what you can do on this if you want to play it, okay, if you think that red dot's going to go away by the end of the week, because again, we got 4 days. We got 4 more days of these markets being open. to move the price action. So if this thing sucks up tomorrow, right, that red dot could definitely go away. So where I'd be looking to enter Mara if I wanted an entry is a green dot above this 1992 level. Okay, it has to hold 1992. If you get a green dot on the 4-hour above 1992, okay, that will be your buy entry. That's where I would look to buy. This one's actually on my watch list. You can see it's on the green list. I'll go ahead and share our watch list again. If you guys missed it, I just shared it. I believe it was the 26th. These are all the names we're currently watching, looking for entries on. And Mara is one of those names that are on it. So I want to see if this red dot holds into the end of the week. This will be an interesting play here. Again, if you get a green dot above 1990, I think that'd be a great spot to enter. But again, it's strictly based on how crypto moves. So we don't know. I mean, the direction isn't very clear on crypto. Like, we are still bullish because, right, Bitcoin still has its weekly green dot. Okay, it's still holding. As long as the dot is green, we're going up. Okay, when it turns to red, that's when we go down. So as long as Bitcoin is holding green, just like it did right here, okay, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. These markets are still bullish, okay, until we see the red dot. Bitcoin's green dot is still holding. Here's PLTR. This is a stock. Okay, and again, you got a sell signal right here on PLTR. Okay, last sell signal came back here in March up at $26. It dipped all the way down to 20. I know that doesn't look like much, but that is a pretty big dip. Okay, that's a 24% dip on your portfolio. So our goal, again, is to get in when the price is cheap and exit when it's expensive. Our exit target is when this stochastic RSI, this light blue line, hits that white dotted line up there. You see that on the weekly chart. This is a weekly chart. When we hit that white dotted line up there or get near it, okay, that is where we like to sell. It's either right there or the red dot, whichever one comes first. So I'd be taking profits on PLTR here. They probably have earnings coming up. There's a lot of earnings happening this week. We got Apple, Amazon, Google all releasing this week. So the stock market is probably going to be very, very volatile this week. But I would be getting out of PLTR right now. I'd actually be setting a stop loss on this name. I'd set a stop loss right at the bottom of that at 25. And if it breaks 25, I'd sell it because it's most likely going to come back down there to 21. Okay, back down to our moving average right here, our EMA. That's our 200 EMA. Okay, it's part of our trading indicator that we use on this channel. If you guys do not have the red and green dots or the EMAs or the stochastic or the blue waves, you guys can download all of that and follow along by clicking this link over here. It's a one-time purchase. It loads right up into your account so you don't have to touch a thing. All the settings and everything you need are already set up for you. Okay, but PLTR, again, giving a sell signal just like it did back here in March. So I would not be taking any new positions on that until the dot turns back to green. Here's Rivian, also given a red dot here. So it is having a doji candle here, and it's right above the 50. So what I do on Rivian is set a stop loss at 1583. Okay, and I like how deep this is on the 4-hour, actually. I'm going to add this one into the look at the buy list. I know it has a red dot here on the weekly, but it could break out. Like I said, we have 4 days, right? 4 of these candles, or 5 of these candles equals 1 weekly candle. So if you're getting a weekly dot on Monday, yes, it is something you should be concerned about, but I wouldn't recommend just selling right away. What I would recommend doing is setting a stop loss and making sure you don't get faked out here. So I'd look to enter Rivian on the next green dot, and then I would set my stop loss. Even though we do have a red dot showing there, 1580 has to be your stop loss on that. But again, best time to buy was down here, right back in April. You were buying at $8. It went all the way up to 1872. Okay, that was 150, 200% move. You put in 10 grand down here, okay, off these green dots. Okay, you're making 124%. You're making $12,000 all the way up to the top. So again, dot is red, something to be concerned about. Again, that is a sell signal. So again, you have to set your stop loss level. I'd love to buy Rivian like down at like 1350. Okay, let's wait for that signal just like it came back here on the 4-hour. Okay, the green dot came right there at 10, ripped all the way up to 16. A beautiful, beautiful move there. Okay, now we're back down in that territory. So I'm watching for a green dot on Rivian this week. I'm actually going to go ahead and put that one on my top picks this week. I just want I want to play the green dot. Okay, I'm gonna play on the fact that this red dot is gonna go away. Okay, if I'm gonna take an entry on it. Okay, because it is still trading above that 50-week moving average there. So I'm watching for a breakout here. I'm watching for this thing to turn the corner and rip. Okay, and again, my entry is going to be, if I decide to take a trade, on the 4-hour green dot. The 4-hour green dot. okay, on Rivian. So that's in my top picks. My other top picks for this week so far are Tesla, Bank of America, LGVN, TWOU. This one was on the top movers today. Rivian and CGC, which is a cannabis play. And then obviously my portfolio right here, I got DJT, Fubu, SLNH, Plug Power, still holding all of those names, still holding them strong, haven't hit their stop losses yet, and holding on to those. So let's get back to the alerts here. Here's DAP given a red dot. So again, I don't want to be buying up here. I don't want to be buying DAP way up here. I want to be buying DAP down here. Okay, on the blue wave, bang. Enter there, sell it. Okay, enter here, green dot, sell it. Okay, we're traders, folks. We're not forever holders. We're not buying and holding. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like to do that. Okay, I like to buy the bottom, sell the top. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to time our entries and time our exits. DAP is a sell with that red dot alert. Here's CCL, also red dot, doesn't look good. Again, I want to be buying down here in May. I want to be buying on the at $14 and selling up here at 19. That's a beautiful about 30% move there. 38% move. Okay, beautiful profit taking territory right there. Okay, wait for it to pull back and give you a green dot now. That's a take profit candle. Again, you don't have to sell right away. Just make sure this thing holds on to, I mean, honestly, I'd set my stop loss probably at 1640, but I'd take some off the table here with that red dot showing. Okay, I'd definitely be taking some off the table. Here's Rari given a green dot, but that thing looks like it faded. Level I'm watching on this is 163. 163 in the 4 hours giving you a red dot, which means we're reversing to the downside in the short term. So again, I want to buy down in this area on both the 4 hour and the weekly. The weekly is down here right now. Okay, I just want to wait for the 4 hour now to reset. Okay, the 4 hour to reset. That green dot will come eventually. Okay, once these crypto markets decide what they're going to do. Here's GST. GST, another cryptocurrency here. This one gave a red dot. Okay, but it looks like it faded. The level I'm watching on that is the bottom of this green candle right here. That's where the buyers seem to have stepped in. Last dot is green, so just make sure it holds 0.012. Okay, I wouldn't be buying into these really, really small cap altcoins right at this second. Okay, I'd be waiting. Okay, I'd be waiting till we got more of a clear direction. We're really, really choppy right now. You saw Ethereum gave the signal there on the weekly, right? Red dot on Ethereum. We really need Ethereum to hold on to its $3,000 level. We really need Ethereum to hold 3. If we can break out again above this downtrend, right above this trend line here. Okay, let's call it right there. We need to break out above that, so we need to get over 3,500 on Ethereum, or that red dot could print there. Okay, and that could be scary. But again, we got a lot of time throughout the week, so this is something we'll just keep an eye on this week. And again, nothing hurt yet until that 3K level breaks. Here's Rose given a red dot. Okay, the stop loss on this one is going to be right down there at about 7, call it 7 cents. Okay, you're risking a penny on this one. It's got a red dot. So again, we don't hold through red dots. When you see the red dot, you have to set your stop loss level. So my stop loss is going to be right there at the bottom of this candle. Okay, we tapped here, we bounced. We tapped it again, we bounced. So that's a strong support level. That means buyers are active at that level. They're trying to hold it above it. So I'm gonna say, right, as long as 7 cents holds, we're still bullish because, right, the blue wave is down here. But if this red dot closes this week, okay, we gotta be careful. So stop loss on Rose is gonna be 0.07. Let's look at the 4 hour really quick, and the 4 hours getting rejected off the 50 there. So if this thing comes down to like 7 cents, I think that'd be a better place to enter. I'd be looking for a 4 hour green dot to time my entry. Okay, timed it right there at about 8. It's sitting right at that level again. Okay, dot came down here at 7. Dot came down here at 7.6. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, but we did get rejected there. So that's not the prettiest looking chart. I'll tell you that right now. So be very, very careful on that red dot. You have to set a stop loss. Okay, I'm going to actually tell you to set your stop loss right there at 0.07. Call it 0.075 for the stop loss on Rose. If it breaks, I would sell the name. Because again, we don't like to sit through big, look at this red dot right there in July. We don't like to sit through these big clumps, right? Just boosh. Okay, that's a 50% drop right there. We don't want to sit through that. Okay, so again, red means sell, green means buy, folks. Here's API 3 giving you a green dot. I'd move the stop loss on this one up to about 180. 180 is my stop on API 3. Looks like an AI play here. Stochastics on the floor. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great. But it does have a green dot signal, just like the one that came down here and here. Right? If you would have bought there and there, rip. Okay, I feel like a lot of you guys are very impatient when it comes to these green dots. Okay, I get impatient too myself. But when you trade a weekly chart, you guys got to give it time to play out. You guys got to give the move time to play out. Okay, if you're buying on a green dot today, you shouldn't expect it to go up for a couple of weeks. Okay, the reason we trade a weekly chart is because the dots are a lot more accurate. Okay, if you're in here on a 5-minute chart, okay, look at this. There's so many of them. Okay, we go out to the weekly. Okay, and you can see the weekly, right? There's one every like couple of months. Okay, every couple of months you get a dot. Okay, a signal. Bang. You buy here. Okay, and then you're selling when the stochastic hits the white dotted line up there. Okay, boom. That's 90 cents all the way to 190. That's a 100% move. So API 3 has the green dot. What I would do again is set a stop loss. Put your stop loss at the bottom of this green candle. Call it 185 on this buy signal here on API 3. That one doesn't look bad. Here's dot giving you a red dot on the indicator. Okay, so I don't know if they're trying to fake everybody out here or what the heck's going to happen. But $5 is my stop loss on Polkadot. That is the bottom of this big wick candle right here. Okay, and again, we're making a higher low at the moment. So a higher low is when we bounce, right? We find support, we bounce, we come back, and we bounce again at a higher level. So this time, instead of bouncing down here, okay, at 355, we're actually bouncing up here at 489. Okay, that's where the buyers stepped in there. So this has been 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks now of just going sideways. So if you're sitting here and you're impatient, you're like, oh my gosh, right? Really, we're just consolidating right now. We're just going sideways. We're up and down, up and down. The consolidation phase is called the smart money phase. Okay, smart money, big money's loading up, and we're just going sideways. Okay, they're not buying at the top up here, like some of you maybe were up here at like $12 on Polkadot, because again, everybody on Twitter was talking about it. Jim Cramer was telling you to buy it. Okay, and everybody was freaking out about it. Okay, that's way up here. Okay, that's delusion, new paradigm phase. Okay, we don't want to be buyers up here. We want to buy in this phase when we're going sideways, or when we get a pullback here right into our mean. Our mean is just our light blue line. That's our light blue line. And we like to buy assets that are trending above it. So DOT, I would say, is trending near it right now, not above it. But right, we don't want to buy during this time when we're below that light blue line. Let me show you a better example on Bitcoin's chart. So when we're below this light blue line, we're in a bear market, right? This was from March 2022 all the way to December 2022. That was a very, very long, drawn-out bear market. We weren't even paying attention. We shouldn't have even been paying attention to crypto during this time. We want to buy when we break out over the 50, right, over the light blue line, okay, and bounce on it and go, because we're in a bull market when we're up above it. And Bitcoin actually did bounce right off it here at 53. So that's why I'm still bullish on crypto. Again, as long as Bitcoin holds this signal, holds the gray dot, I'm bullish. If we get a red dot close this week or next week, my stance is going to be bearish, because that's just how it works, folks. Okay, this strategy or any trading strategy you look up or study is not going to be 100%. You need to know when you're wrong, and you need to know when you're wrong fast if you want to be a successful trader. Okay, you're not going to win on every trade. So the level I'm still watching on Bitcoin is right there at 60K. 60K is just the level that we got this buy signal back here in July on. That's that candle right there. So as long as we hold the low of this candle, which I'm going to call it 60,000, it was $60,729.83, but I'm just going to round down and call it 60. So as long as Bitcoin holds 60 and this dot remains green, I'm still bullish on these markets, folks. I'm still bullish on these markets. Okay, I'm not very happy about these red dots coming in here, but you can see that happen back here as well. This was a little fake out red dot right here back in October. What happened? Fake out red dot. And then what happened? Rip. So we got to pay attention to this. Okay, and something else to pay attention to is the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour chart bounced right there at 555. Okay, so that could be your stop loss. And where I play dot is actually the next green dot on the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour is now down here. So you could time your entry now on the smaller time frame, the 4-hour. Okay, because when you get the green dot weekly, okay, when you get the weekly green dot, we no longer have to look at the weekly chart. Of course, we have to pay attention to see if a red dot comes like it is. But once you get the weekly green, you want to zoom into the 4 hour and enter on the smaller time frames. You need to use a smaller time frame in conjunction. What I find works best with the weekly chart is going to be the daily and the 4 hour. I use the 4 hour just because it's a little quicker. Okay, it's a little quicker, and I just like it more. I use the hourly sometimes, but it's not my favorite. If you're trading a weekly chart like we do on this channel, you want to use the weekly and the 4 hour or the daily. Okay, and when I mean using the 4 hour or the daily, that means when you get the weekly dot. Okay, when you get the dot on the weekly, you want to look for the dot then on the next 4 hour. You want to buy the next green dot on the 4 hour after you get the weekly or the next green dot on the daily. So you can see dot is also way down here on the wave. Okay, way down here on the wave. So what I'd look to enter is the next green dot when we get that reversal. So this thing really needs to do something here. Okay, crypto needs a pump. I don't know where the bulls are. The bulls are like non-existent. Every rally we get right now is just getting flushed right back down. So what needs to happen is Bitcoin needs to break out to all-time highs. We need to break out over 74K. We hit 70 today and just got rejected. Okay, but you guys can see the indicator's still saying bull. Okay, we're still okay. Crypto is still fine. Okay, we are still holders and we are still bullish bias as long as this dot remains green. If we get the red, yes, we're going to sell. We're going to flip our stance. But as of right now, I just be holding my positions. Okay, I be holding my positions. And if you got a red dot on the weekly chart, what you need to do is you need to set a stop loss. Like on dot here. So what I'll do is I'll set my stop loss. I'll come in here and I'll look at the 4 hour. I'll see where we bounced last time. Again, that was right here. Let me turn the volume off here for you guys so you can see this. Okay. So you can see we bounced right here at 55. So what I want to do is I want to hold that level. So I'd set a stop loss at $5.50. Okay, or I would look to add on the next green dot if you're not in a position right now. Okay, so be careful. Again, it's a good time to buy over the long term. Every time, well, not every time on dot, but when this wave is down here, you're buying when it's cheap, right? You're not buying up here when this wave is down here. When you're buying up here, when you're buying in this area, okay, up when the price is expensive, up here at $11, boom, and it drops all the way down to 60 or $6 or $5. That's when everybody decides to quit and go do something else because a lot of people don't learn from their mistakes. But it's pretty much common sense, folks. Buy low, sell high. That's the gist behind the strategy on a weekly time frame. Okay, we're not day traders. Again, we're not looking for the quick come-ups. These moves take time. These moves take months at a time. Again, if you were in back here in September on dot, off these green dots back here, the trade was right here, the bounce off the 50. We probably shouldn't have been buying during this time. But if you time that entry, that was 174%. If you entered on this green dot here, okay, that was a pretty nice move of about 74, 75% right there. So, I mean, that's a great trade. A lot of people are happy with 5%. That was a 75% trade. People give their money to money managers and they pay them 5% a year and they're like super happy about it when inflation's sitting at 9%. I mean, they're losing 4% by giving their money to money managers. It's all a scam, folks. It's all a scam because all those people are doing is they're using that money to trade the markets, okay? And they're buying these swings. They're buying on these swings. Okay, so dot, again, set your stop loss. Let's use the weekly here. Let's use the weekly at 498. If you want to be more conservative, use that 4 hour support right there where we bounced last time off this green dot. That was at $5.50. I still have a bullish bias on crypto, okay, as long as Bitcoin holds its red dot. If we get a Bitcoin red dot over here in the alerts, my whole stance is going to flip, folks, because that's just... I'm not the one sitting here calling the directions. It is this indicator. This indicator tells me everything that I need to know. Okay, it tells me everything that I need to know. And some of these altcoins just have been total shit coins this last cycle. Like Comp, look at Comp here, given a red dot. So Comp stop loss is right there at 40. Once again, I'd be on the 4 hour chart looking to buy these green dots. Look, you got a green dot buying opportunity here on the 4 hour. Okay, 46 could actually be your stop loss here. That one doesn't look too bad. Okay, just beside the fact that it's trending a little bit below our 50, but this is one of those names, again, that if it explodes, the all-time high was all the way up here at $900. If it goes back to all-time highs and we actually do have an altcoin season, that's a 1,700% move. Okay, big move. And this one's actually tradable on Robinhood too, so they must be doing something right because Robinhood doesn't list every single crypto like Coinbase. They only have like 15 that you can trade. But again, red dot, something to pay attention to. Again, set your stop loss on a trade on this at 46. Call it 45. Set it $1 below that level. $45. You're risking $2, $3 to the downside. Again, not my favorite trade because we got a red dot, but we'll see if this red dot holds into the end of the week. Okay? Because if the price goes up over the next couple of days, this red dot could fade away from the chart. Okay? The candle doesn't close till Sunday, and that means the dot is not confirmed. When the dot is confirmed, that means the candle closed and we got a new candle. This dot cannot be taken away from the chart. This dot can, because we're in the week right now. So again, if comp bounces here, okay, it needs to bounce. Okay, it needs to hold this green dot and bounce up. And we need to get back over. Okay, but comp's a shit coin too. It's been a shit coin. It's one of those ones that's just been consolidating, going sideways for the last 2 years. It hasn't really moved. It had a nice move right here, but other than that, it's just been going sideways. Okay, pretty boring. Okay, but these are the kind of coins, again, what stage are we in on this? Okay, they call it the stealth phase because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's hooping and hollering about it, right? Everything right now is about Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything. Stealth phase, right? You don't know about the coin yet. My whole rule, folks, is if they're already talking about it, you're too late. You're too late if they're already talking about it. Okay, that's the whole gist. You want to sell when everybody's talking about it. You want to be selling. You want to be loading up when nobody's talking about it. So comp, I think, is a good long-term play. Let's look at the monthly chart. Okay, the monthly chart again. Pretty weak move there. And again, I'd be using the stop loss at about 40, what did I say, 46, 45. But that one's got a red dot. So again, I'm just not too excited about that one. Here's Jasmy, giving a buy signal there on the weekly as well. Again, it's not down here below, but it is still a green dot. This last one came at 0.018. It went all the way up to almost 5 cents. That was a massive move. And it's giving you another one right here. So let's look at the 4 hour on this one. And again, looking to enter on the green dot on the 4 hour now. So you guys can set your own alerts. I don't call out the 4 hour alerts inside the Discord. I only call out the weekly alerts. Okay, I only call out the weekly ones because I think those are the most important ones to alert you guys on. And once you get the weekly alerts, again, I encourage you to zoom into a smaller time frame like the 4 hour or the daily chart and then time your entries on the smaller time frames. I only can call out so many alerts in the Discord. I think I'm limited to like 400. So I call the greens and the reds out on my watch lists. So everything that I'm watching, the red and the green weekly alerts are getting called out over here. If you're a member of the Discord, I think it's like $6 a month right now to join and get these signals. Okay, those are called out over here. So when you see this, I could say, okay, PLTR. Boom, PLTR has a red dot. Okay, I'm coming over here. I see it's a red dot. I wouldn't buy something that's showing a red dot up here. I never do. I want to buy when it's showing a green dot like down here. I want to buy an asset. So I'd be watching for PLTR to pull back into our what? Into our mean, our 50-week moving average, that light blue line there. Again, because that is our mean. Okay, we want to buy at the average price. So the reason we trade a weekly chart, because this 50 EMA, think about it, it's the average price over 50 weeks. Okay, that is the average price over what? How many weeks are in a year? There's what, 52, 54? So we just use a 50-week moving average because that tells us the yearly average price. The yearly average price. So I want to buy a green dot bouncing off of that. I wouldn't be buying a red dot extended off of it because, again, this is telling me this asset is going to pull back. So I want to buy a pullback into that line, okay, and then get a green dot and then boom, ride that thing up just like it rode right there. Bada bing, bada boom. So again, I encourage you guys to use a smaller time frame like the 4 hour chart once you get the weekly signal. Okay, when you get the weekly green dot down here, that's when you need to move into a smaller time frame and look what's going on. Okay, that's when you need to look what's going on a smaller time frame. So let's go back to Jasmy here. I want to look at the 4 hour. Now that we got the green dot, let's look at the 4 hour. So Jasmy now, again, the green dot probably came right up here at like, I think it came at like 2.9 right there. It did end up going up, but now it's pulling back. So I'm watching Jasmy for a green dot there. I'm adding that one to the looking to buy list this week, and I'm looking to buy that thing on its next green dot. I think it might come down here to about 2.8 and bounce. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. What's the daily saying? Okay, the daily is still green as well. So stop loss on this is going to be at the bottom of the candle we're getting the green dot on from last week. I'm going to say 0.025 is going to be the stop loss on Jasmy there. That means if that level breaks, this green dot is a liar, meaning it's not accurate. It's a liar. Okay, if 2.5 breaks. So that has to be your stop loss. That is one of our trading rules here. You guys have to be using stop losses to manage your risk. Okay, use a stop loss. Use a stop loss. The stop loss on the weekly is always at the bottom of the candle we're getting the green dot on. And I know we're getting the green dot this week, but I'm going to put it at last week's candle. Okay, last week's candle, I'm moving it over because there's not a lot of data on this one this week. This could either pump or dump. Okay, we got, again, 6 days for this candle to move. So let's play the 4-hour and look for the green dot down here for an entry on Jasmine. Again, I'm adding that one to the looking to buy list this week. Why? Because we got a weekly green dot. Okay, this weekly green dot tells us that the next weeks, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, should be up. Okay, and our sell target isn't until that light blue line gets back up there to the white dotted line, like it was back here. Okay, or we get a red dot, because when that line was back up here, look where it was. Okay, that was the top right there at almost 3 cents. And then what did it do? It went sideways for 3-4 months. Okay, as traders, we're just trying to capitalize on the momentum. We don't want to hold through this. Okay, we want to put our money to work. We want to capitalize on these swings, this big swing from 4 cents all the way up. I mean, that was a 10x trade right there on Jasmine. Boom. Okay, we don't want to hold through this. Okay, that's garbage. We want to wait for a nice pullback, a green dot, which is what we're getting this week. Again, stop loss on Jasmine is going to be right there at 0.025. I'm looking for an entry on this on the next green dot on the 4-hour chart. We got algo given a red dot on the weekly, but this is what I'm talking about. You see the signal came here. This was yesterday, Sunday. Again, when the candles close, they close on Sunday. So we normally get a large influx of these alerts here on Sunday. You can see yesterday at 5 p.m. I'm Pacific time. That is Los Angeles time. You can see we got a bunch of them right off the bat. So like I said, weekly candles close at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. So keep that in mind if you're trading cryptocurrency, okay, and you're using our strategy. But Algorand, again, this is what I'm talking about. When a red dot shows up, that doesn't mean it's confirmed, because you can see it triggered, but guess what? It went away. Why? Because the price pumped. It pumped up. So we're looking at the 4-hour here on Algo, and it doesn't look too sexy. Doesn't look too good, getting rejected there off the 4-hour. But how I'd be trading this one, if you guys own it, is I'd set a stop loss at 13, call it 13 cents. That's where we're trying to bounce there. We need to round it out here. Okay, if that breaks, we're going to break down. Okay, so where I'd be looking to buy Algo is green dot on the 4-hour here, because again, the last dot is green on the weekly. So what do we need to be? We need to be bullish. We need to be bullish as long as this last dot is green, meaning we're going up. If this last dot is green on the weekly chart, that means we're going up for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. Price action should be going up. That's what we expect. And we know we're wrong if it breaks our stop loss level. So the first stop loss level is right there at 13.6. The one after that's going to be down there at 13.2. I'm just going to call it 13. Okay, so you're risking, I mean, if you use that bottom one there, you're risking about 5% to the downside, but you're looking to make, 15% if it goes back to 16. If this thing goes back to all-time highs, that was up at $3. So again, if this thing shoots up, that's 1,700, 1,800% on your money. Okay, and the dot is still green. So yes, it showed a red dot. That's a warning sign. Set your stop loss level at 13 cents. That looks good. Here's GRT, another example here. Got the red dot, but it went away. So the level I'm watching on GRT, I'm going to call it right there at 16 cents. Let's look at the 4-hour, and it's got a red on the 4-hour. So again, waiting for the green dot to take an entry if you're not in it. If you're in it, let's set a stop loss at 18 cents. Okay, 18 cents based on the 4-hour there. And guys, if your stop loss gets hit, you guys shouldn't freak out, because if you're long on an asset, hopefully you're buying something that you want to hold for the long term. Okay, you got to think, like, do I want to hold this for 5 years? If you guys are buying shit coins and like altcoins that have no real basis or anything, it's risky. It's risky to do. Okay, there's nothing backing it. So like right now, for example, my largest position is DJT. Okay, and that's not it's not a political play. It's just me, right, understanding like, hey, there's an election coming up, right? Donald Trump's media company, I think, could get some attention over the next few weeks into the election, right? In a few weeks to months. So on DJT, right, what did we get? We got a green dot on the weekly. Yes, a red one showing up this week. So my stop loss on DJT, I called this out today, is where we bounced today. It's right there at 29.40. That might hit, it might not. If it does hit, okay, and it breaks down here, maybe it goes down to 28 or back down here to 25, I can always buy back in on the next dot. right? If this dot wasn't accurate, I'm going to sell it really quick. I'm going to take a 1 to 2% loss, and then I'm going to buy back in on the green dot. And then hopefully, right, it rides back up like this. Because, again, there's a lot of eyeballs on this stock right now. That was a 60% move. Okay, if I'm losing 2% to the downside when I'm wrong, but I'm making 60 to 70 to the upside, it doesn't matter if you lose quick. Okay, my entry was off this green dot right here. Okay, I'm in at like 30 cents, and my stop loss was 29. I moved it up to 29.40 today. 29.40, and that's just where we bounced. Look at the 4 hour. Yeah, the 4 hour. You can see it bounced right there, the bottom of that red candle right there. Okay, that was where we bounced. So again, what does this look like? Consolidation, consolidation, sideways, sideways. Okay, sideways, rip, sideways. I'm thinking it's going to rip because, again, I'm long on the fundamentals. I like the project, and I think it's very undervalued. I think DJT is a very undervalued company right now. It's only like a $3 billion company, and it does the same thing as Facebook, Snapchat, and all those social media platforms. They're an advertising company. So they're a $3 billion company. Facebook's a $1.3 billion company. So if DJT ever goes to a $1 trillion company, right, which I'm not saying it's going to, but it could go to a $30 billion company, $3 billion to $30 billion market cap. That's a 10x trade. If it goes to a $30 billion market cap, okay, if it goes to a $30 billion market cap, that would put the stock price at what? You 10x the price, okay? You add a zero to the price, it would be a $300 stock if it goes to a $30 billion company, which is a fraction, a very, very, like 1.05% of Facebook. So if it steals just the slightest share from Facebook, okay, and goes to a $30 billion market cap, this is going to be a $300 stock, okay? And again, obviously politics play a part in this stock, which, is good and bad, in my opinion. But what I'm playing is the volatility. And again, you guys got to understand what you're buying. If you guys don't know what GRT does or the usage of it, you shouldn't buy it. You shouldn't be buying something. Okay, fundamentals do matter, but we're technical traders here, but fundamentals do matter. Know what you're buying. Understand what you are buying. Okay, the safest way to play crypto is, of course, to go buy Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's the two safest plays right there. Okay, that's what all the governments are backing with. That's what everything is rolling into. If you're buying something like Algorand or API3 or Rose and you have no idea what it does or how they make money or how they monetize themselves, you probably shouldn't be buying it. Okay? Understand what you're buying. Do your fundamental research. Here's NEAR giving a red dot here. So be careful on NEAR. That one also is given a sell signal. The level we're watching, I'm going to say $5. That thing needs to hold $5. We got to get a pump. Watch for the next green dot on this. I'm going to guess that's going to come either tomorrow or the next day. We should see it as long as $5 holds. Again, there's a warning signal for you right there on NEAR. Okay? God. That weekly, we need it. We need to rip. Okay? We need to rip over these next 6 days. So watching for the green dot on the 4 hours, seeing how that's going to react. And we're setting our stop loss at the bottom of this green candle right here, which is around $5.14. I always round down to the whole number. So I'll round down to like $5, and then I'll put it like 10 cents below it. So I'll set a stop loss at like $4.90, just so the market makers can't flush it down and pump me up, because everybody and their mother's setting a stop loss at anywhere from 5 to 5.14. So again, the market makers have the ability to flush something and then pump it back up, especially if it's a low cap, okay, and there's not a lot of liquidity in it. It's very easy for them to do. So you got to be smart about your stop losses. Again, if you guys got chart requests, I'd be happy to give my 2 cents on where I think you should set your stop loss. Just go ahead and drop your requests over here. We're going to be getting to those here in just a second. Here's FET, F-E-T, given a red dot this week. This thing needs to hold on to $1.11 there. $1.11. Let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, so we jumped up, got rejected. Jumped up, got rejected. So let's move this thing up. Let's move it up to, I'm going to call it $1. All right, hopefully you're holding this thing. The 4 hours getting rejected by the EMAs, though, so that's not my favorite thing in the world. We're in a downtrend still, right? We're trending below our orange line, which is our 9-week moving average. So this is the 50-week moving average. This is the 9-week moving average. So another something you guys can pay attention to for a breakout is when we break out over the orange line, just like we did there. Boom, big breakout over the orange line. And then the trend started. right now we're getting rejected off that orange line. So I don't like FET. I don't like FET. I don't like this red dot. I don't like the project. I think it was a pump and dump. Okay, so I'm going to say set a stop loss at call it 110. 110 on the stop loss. Here's a link. I like this project. I know this project. I know who created this project, so that's why it's on my watch list. This one's also on my looking to buy list. I think I got the Coinbase chart, though, that I'm looking at. We took an entry last week and got stopped out. Okay, got stopped out right here. I think our entry was like right up here off this candle, and guess what? It got rejected. Stop lossed us out, gave you the green dot. You could have re-entered right there at 1250 and set your stop loss at the bottom of the 4 hour there. Now we're just consolidating. So set a stop loss on this one at 13. 13 is going to be your stop loss for link. If you want to move it down a little bit, put it at 12 if you want to be less conservative. If you move it up to 13, your chances of getting stopped out are a lot more likely. Set it right there at 1250, right between 12 and 13, 1250. As long as this level holds, right, again, we're making higher lows. So again, we bounce there, bounced at a higher spot, and we're bouncing again right there at a higher spot. So I'm going to call 1240 the true support there. If you guys are still playing that, I personally am not in that anymore, and there's a red dot showing up on the chart. So this is going to be a really big week, guys. This is going to be a really big week in crypto. So let's keep our eyes on the market again. We're giving you guys the signals every single day and staying up to date. We know what's going to happen before it happens. Here's KRL giving you a buy signal. This is a super low market cap coin on Coinbase, and that's giving you a buy signal right there. I actually like that signal there. So how I'd play this is I'd move my stop loss up to, call it 40 cents on KRL. Okay, you actually probably want to leave that one down a little bit. I'm going to put it at 30, call it 35. 35 on the stop loss if you're playing that dot. Super low market cap coin here, tradable on Coinbase. I'm going to go ahead and add this one to the looking to buy list just off that signal. I'd be looking to buy it on the next green dot on the 4 hour, but this thing doesn't look like it wants to break down. It looks like it wants to go up with that green dot. So 39 cents is going to be the stop loss on that one. Here's Ethereum. This is the last signal that we got over the last couple days. I apologize for not dropping a video last week. I went on vacation to the cabin, so we're back full-fledged Monday through Friday dropping videos now. But that is going to be the last one for. Actually, no, we got a couple more all the way up to SHIB. We haven't covered SHIB yet. So ETH on the weekly, again, I told you guys, ETH has to hold 3,000. It has to hold 3,000. Okay, and we're really trying to pump here. They tried to dump it down. Okay, the 4 hour stop loss is $3.23. You can see you could have got a pretty good entry there in July. That was last Thursday. You could have got a good entry down there at about 3,000. And again, that was a higher low. So these markets are just so volatile right now, folks. They're really good at flushing people out right now because, again, this is just a consolidation phase. A massive bull flag forming here. Okay, so as long as Ethereum holds, like I said, these lows right at 27, I'm calling it 3,000, the bottom of last week's candle, because we got a red dot there. Just set a stop loss at 3. Okay, 3,000. If you want to be less conservative on the stop loss, move it up to 3,200 right there. That's where we bottomed here on the 4 hour, and the trend is now continuing up on the 4 hour. And yes, we do have a red dot showing this week, but guess what? We have 6 more days. 6 more days of price action. So if we get back up over 35, this thing's going to absolutely rip. So stop loss on that, I'm going to call it 3,100. 3,100 on the stop loss there. NVIDIA gave a monthly red dot. So this is a monthly of that. Ooh, disgusting. I'd be shorting tech. I think shorting tech right now isn't a bad move. I mean, NVIDIA has ran so hard here. It's got a monthly red dot. Look at that. If you would have bought NVIDIA right there on the 22nd, you would have bought their stock at $11. It went all the way up to 122. That's a 10x trade there from December if you're buying there off the monthly. Now you're getting the red dot way up here. Okay, I'd be shorting tech here. I'd be shorting tech. I look at the 4 hour, and every time it came up and hit that level there, I'd be shorting the crap out of it. Shorting the crap out of it. And the weekly even is pointing straight down too. So I think NVIDIA set the reset. Okay, maybe come back down to about 45. Okay, that'd be right into our what? Into our 50 EMA here. That's where it bounced last time. That'd be a perfect place to buy it again. But I would not be touching it with my worst enemy's money up here. Here's Ford gapping down. Cars are just disgusting right now. I can't imagine car dealers are making very much money. Our economy is shit right now. Okay, nobody's buying anything. Nobody's buying houses. Nobody's buying cars. I wouldn't be buying forward. Bitcoin Cash actually bounced really nice here off the green dot. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, our stop loss going to be about 370 on that. Again, trading the 4 hour. Again, I don't want to buy up here on the 4 hour. I want to buy down here on the 4 hour. So if BCH pulls back to like around 400, okay, between 380 and 400, okay, eat that thing up. Okay, as long as the weekly stays green, this looks good. Okay, you got the 4 hour cross. It's trending above our 50-week moving average. Beautiful bounce off of it. Very nice. BCH actually looks good. Okay, I look for an entry on that off the green dot. That one's going on the looking to buy list. I look for an entry off the next 4 hour green dot. I'm looking for a pullback maybe down here to 390 or 400, and then boom, you can eat that thing up. But the last dot is green, so we are remaining bullish on that. And that's another one that showed up a red dot last week and it went away. Okay, so again, you guys got to pay attention to the charts. Whether the dot is printing or not is very important. Here's Spell. Spell stop loss is down there at 0.0005. Another very low market cap cryptocurrency, very risky. Let's move our stop loss up to 0.006 on that. Okay, and that one's trying to get back over the hump. But that did print red this week. That doesn't mean the green dot can't come back this week or next week if we get a move higher. Let's use a stop loss on that one if you're still holding it at 0.0006. Last one of the alerts is going to be Shiba. Shiba printed red last week, so what are we doing? We're using a stop loss at the bottom of last week's candle. Let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, right down here off the 4 hour chart where we tried to bounce. Okay, but again, the last dot is red. So we need to wait for the next green dot to come back, or we need to hold on to our position and make sure this thing holds this level right here. Okay, but again, trending below the EMAs. We're in a bear market on the 4 hour. We're sitting right on it right now. Sitting right on the mean right now on Shiba. So again, I use the 4 hour to set my stop loss. You can put it right down there right where we bounced. Okay, got this green dot. Boom, we bounced. Okay, and you can play it because again, the wave is still way down here, meaning we're oversold to the downside, right? We just sat through from the top a 64% dip. Okay, that's a big old dip. That's one of these despair dips right here. Okay, some people got killed because there were people buying up here. There were people buying Shiba Inu up here. Okay, someone can only sell if there's a buyer. So someone was buying up here and someone just got annihilated. So that means despair is in. Great. Red dot. I mean, you can see where we're trending above. The true stop loss, the weekly stop loss is at the bottom of that candle. But again, if you want to be less conservative, use a 4 hour stop loss down here at that level right there where we bounced. Bang. We also bounced right there as well. Boom. Boom. Okay. 2 bounces off those levels. And that is it. That is it for our alerts over the last couple of days since we've been MIA. Let's look at the chart requests here. I don't even think I got the thread ready. That's my bad. So I'm going to have to take those over here. Okay, again, if you guys got chart requests, go ahead and get them over here. We got Cody from Coacher. What's up, my brother? Cody, are you talking about the stock? I'm thinking. There's also a stock or a crypto named Cody, but that one has a green dot. What I do on that one is set your stop loss at the bottom of last week's candle. You got the green dot showing this week, so 945 would be my stop loss again. In here on the 4 hour, hopefully you got in on that green dot down there at like 350. It's getting rejected off that 4 hour. It's just not my favorite looking chart, but the weekly is trying to consolidate here. It's actually a nice higher low there, so this got rejected, right? It bounced and came back down. Now we're making a higher low. So just make sure that one holds on to 940. Stop loss of 940 if you're playing this dot right here on Cody. QS from D. Allen. QS is Quantscape. Weekly chart's pretty extended, right? The stochastic's way up here. This is like our sell target. That had a big pump, 63% up. Okay, be careful of these big fat green candles because then they flush it down. Okay, those are called pump and dumps. And again, that one is trending below our 50-week moving average, our light blue line. Therefore, we do not like to enter. Okay, because again, we're in a bear market. Pumps up, shoves it down. Pumps up, shoves it down. Pumps up, my guess is they're going to shove it back down. Okay, that's just what I'm seeing. If you're in it, just make sure it holds on to $5.90. But again, I don't like to buy assets that are trending down, right? It's trending down when we're below the blue line. Okay, we want to buy assets that are trending up and to the right. Okay, look at Bitcoin's chart. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Not down and to the right. Okay, Bitcoin's chart doesn't go down and to the right. Up and to the right. That's what we're looking for. FTT. Is this FTX token? Is that what you're requesting? I did hear they had like a settlement offer or something like that. So I don't know if they're trying to get that exchange back on board, but the level to play is 98 cents down there. Let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, move it up there on your 4 hour. Your stop loss is 125, right where we bounce back here. So did it have a green dot on the weekly? Yes, it did. So that is holding. I use the stop loss at the 4 hour level right there at 125. Again, right where we bounced. I don't know. From what I know, they're bankrupt. So I don't like to buy bankrupt companies either. And again, the weekly is down below the 50 EMA. So my analysis on that is I think there's some better names to trade that are in an uptrend, not bankrupt, not screwing people out of their money. I'm not saying it can't bounce back, but I mean, that's not really a technical play. That's just like a guessing game. Here's USDC.D. This is our dominance chart for stablecoins. Again, when this is going down, the markets are going up. So it's trying to find some support here, but the last dot is still red. So that's a good thing for the crypto markets because, again, when this is going down, this is the stablecoin dominance chart. When money is flowing out of stablecoins, it's going into the market, meaning it's going into names like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, so on and so forth. You see Bitcoin's going up. USDC.D is going down. So this dot is red, so that's actually bullish for the markets, right? We got a red dot, meaning we're going down. So we're still sitting good there. I'm going to guess you probably requested USDT.D as well. Same kind of thing. Okay, red dot on that going down. That is good for the markets. The DXY, the dollar index. I don't normally look at the dollar index, but that one looks like it wants to break out there and go higher. The stochastic's pointing up. No green dot yet, but I'm watching 103 on the DXY there. Watch for that one to break out. We've been in a massive consolidation phase here. I think the death of the dollar is coming, folks. I don't know how they could be going up unless they back it by like crypto or XRP or Bitcoin or something, but 103 is the level. No green dot yet, so we're not out of the woods. So last dot is still red, so we're still bearish, but there are signs that this could be reversing here soon. I'm not really sure if that's good or bad for the markets, to be honest with you. I don't follow the DXY too much. I don't know if when that thing's going up, stocks are going down or what the deal is, but that one looks like a potential for a reversal, but again, the green dot will be the confirmation. Green means up, red means down. We got MATIC, M-A-T-I-C. Okay, that one also has a green dot as well. Let me take that away. Okay, last dot's green on the weekly. We are below the 9 EMA. So you'd be playing a breakout over that. What I do, if you own it, set a stop loss at 48. Call it 45. 45 cents for a stop loss on that play. That's about a 3-cent stop loss. So that's a pretty good risk to reward ratio, given the fact that the upside is about 152% there. So you're risking 12, well, not even that much if you use the yellow line, 4% to the downside to make 152 to the upside. So those are pretty good odds, I would say. Okay, 48 is your stop loss level. Again, that's just where we're bouncing down here on the 4 hour. That dip we had on Thursday, that big dip down, boom, it bounced, boom, okay, we're back. Okay, so if you're not in MATIC yet, look to enter on the next green dot on the 4 hour, but just make sure if you're holding it, you set a stop loss at, well, it says 47, but I would go down a little bit to like 45. 45 is your stop. Okay, but the last dot is green on the weekly. So again, we're bullish bias. We're thinking a move like this is going to come next. Okay, as long as the last dot remains green, we're bullish on the asset, and we're looking to buy pullbacks like this on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour chart, the shorter time frame. Velo. Another very low market cap coin. No data on the weekly, so we'll go to the daily. I'd look for the daily. Okay, look for the daily and play the daily. Once you get the daily dot, set your stop loss. If it comes, it's probably going to come above 8 cents. Make sure 8 cents holds on Velo. Here's GFI. Goldfinch. Last dot is green on that. So what are we doing? We got the last dot green. Perfect. Now we're in here on the 4 hour. What are we doing? We're waiting for the 4 hour green dot now. I like the fact that this one is also trending up above the EMA. I want to check the market cap on this one. If you guys are a member of the Discord, you also have access to our research tool. All you got to do is type in /info and then the ticker. So the ticker on this was GFI, I believe it was. So I'll show you. /info, enter GFI USD. It was Goldfinch. It's a crypto. Hit OK. It's a $223 million market cap. It's a DeFi protocol that brings crypto loans to the real world. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. So I look to buy this one, or if you're holding it, okay, make sure it holds like 260. I mean, you could even move that up there, but I think you might get stopped out. Call it 250 on the stop loss. Looking to enter again on the next green dot. Okay, but that weekly chart looks good. Okay, nice, beautiful bounce there off the 50-week. This one looks good. I'm actually putting this one on the looking to buy list this week. That's a good call out. That's the best call out I've seen all day. Okay, good call out on GFI. Near, I believe we covered. Near has a red dot this week, so be very, very careful on this. Set a stop loss at $5.14. That's where we bounce right there. You do not want that level to break because we could free fall all the way back down here to like $4. So $5 is a very, well, $5.10 is a very important level. Call it 5.10 for the stop loss. Red dot on the weekly, be careful. Coney, C-O-N-Y. I don't know if that was a crypto or a stock you're trusting or you're talking about there, but it looks like this is an ETF, coin option income strategy. Not sure what this is. So what can we do? We can go over here to our research tool, CONY. Yep, there's no crypto under CONY, so this must be the one you're talking about here. Did not respond. So we'd have to do a little bit more research on that. Let me see here. What are you? This should tell us. The fund will employ investment strategy as it relates to coin, regardless of whether there are periods of adverse market, economic, and other conditions temporary. Yeah, I don't understand that too much. But if you got some insight, I'd love to hear it. You can drop it over there in the chat and let us all know what it is. But it does have a green dot on the weekly here. Okay, green dot on the weekly. So what are we doing? We're in here on the 4-hour. I don't like it. I don't like the 4-hour just getting rejected here. I want to see the 4-hour break out over it, come back, pull into it, and then rip. Okay, trend is down on the 4-hour, but the weekly does have a green dot. So you want this one to hold $18. It has to hold 18. And it looks like it bounced at 18 there, bounced at 18 there. Okay, come back down and tapped it. It's trying to bounce again. Ugly candle to start the week, but I'd be looking to buy the next 4-hour here and pray it comes above $18 there. Riding in my car. We covered those. BIT. Is that BitDow you're talking about? Okay, 4 hours getting down there. Weekly chart. Weekly's red. So another name that I just don't know enough about where I'd want to be interested in it. But 80 cents, I'd use the bottom of this green candle here. The last dot's red. The stochastic's way up here. I think there's some better names to trade. ETH, we covered SPX. STX has got a green dot still. So again, as long as the last dot is green on the weekly, we're looking for pullbacks on the monthly. Okay, pullbacks on the 4-hour. So we're looking to buy the dots down here on the 4-hour. Okay, 165 is where the last one came. It went all the way up to 205. Okay, that's a good trade. 22% move there. Okay, this is where we want to enter here. Timing our entries here on the 4-hour. Once we get the weekly, I like STX. I'm going to put that one back on the looking to buy list because, again, the last dot is still green, and the stop loss on the trade is going to be that 170 level. 170 level is the stop loss there on STX. Last dot's still green. Just make sure that level holds. Okay, make sure that level holds there on STX. Near we covered, Link we covered, FTM. FTM still red, so waiting for that confirmation. Again, just bouncing around right in this area. Down here below on the 4-hour. God, just set a stop loss on this one if you own it at 41. Okay, but just getting rejected there. I'd wait for the green dot confirmation. Okay, you don't want to ride out like this. Okay, wait for that green dot confirmation on FTM. If you're in the position, set a stop loss at 40 cents. 40 cents, right below that yellow line right there. That's the candle we formed last week. That was a 20% dip. So again, wait for that confirmation on FTM on the green dot. We want the green dot first, then we want to time our entry. Okay, on the 4-hour. Okay, but no green dot, no entry. You need the green dot to enter. Here's SUI. SUI is still green. So again, in here on the 4 hour, our stop loss is going to be at that level right there at 70 cents. Ugly rejection off the EMA. Okay, I would have liked to see it break out. Not saying it can't do that here into the end of the day, but I would look to buy this one on the next weekly green dot, or I'm sorry, the next 4 hour green dot. Just make sure it comes above 60 cents. As long as 60 cents or 70 cents holds that yellow line, this dot will remain green. But if that breaks, we will get a red dot on the chart and continue this trend down. But you can see it got rejected there off the 9-week moving average on SUI there. Filecoin. Filecoin's still green as well. So I'm going to use last week's low as the stop at 410. That's right where we bounced back down here. So call it $4 for the stop loss. That's about a 10% risk from where we're sitting. Look to enter on the next green dot on the 4 hour as long as it comes above our 4 hour chart, or a $4 target there. Again, that's where we got the green dot off of as well. Okay, $4 needs to hold, or we'll get a red dot and we'll continue lower. So watching for a pump. Watch for the 4 hour green dot this week. Okay, boom. That will be your entry just like it was down here on Thursday. Nice move from 4 cents all the way up to $4.70. That was almost a 20% move. If you capitalized on that, okay, about 16% there. Okay, just make sure that one holds $4 if you're holding it. SPY, SPY. Okay, major indice here. That one's still red as well. Still red. Nice candle to start today, though. A lot of earnings coming out. So Apple's reporting earnings this week. I believe Amazon's reporting earnings this week. Okay, there's a lot of companies reporting earnings. Lots of companies reporting earnings. Let's see what the old Tim said for us here. Let's see here. Yeah, you got McDonald's and Starbucks. You got ExxonMobil, Chevron, Conoco, all releasing earnings. Major tech earnings are Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and even Facebook reporting their quarterly earnings this week, which is going to affect the market. Okay, and shout out to Tim Tebow over there in the Discord for giving us daily news here inside the Discord. Okay, so big earnings this week. The SPY needs to hold for 540. Okay, and you look at the monthly. The monthly's scary too. Okay, well, the monthly's actually still green. Okay, this thing's on an absolute tear. It's just on an absolute tear. It just tells me that there's some kind of event that's going to come and eventually black swan this market, kind of like COVID did. But the last dot is red on the SPY, so I still got a bearish bias, but it looks like we're trying to bounce here. So the level I'm watching on the SPY is 540. And depending on how all those companies report, right, it was Microsoft, right, Apple, Amazon, Meta, that should have an effect on the SPY. So if those things miss big and we go down, right, that thing could correct back down in here to our 50. So last dot's still red, so I'm still bearish until I get that reversal signal right there on the SPY. We got TIA. And normally these videos aren't this long, guys. It's just we missed like 3 days last week, so we're just getting caught up this week. Hopefully you guys are getting some value. If you are, smash that like. I'm going to give away $500 worth of Bitcoin if we can get this video to 100 likes. All you got to do is hit the like and leave a comment down in the comments section to enter. If we get to 100 likes, I will choose a winner from the comments and give away $500 worth of Bitcoin. Shout out to the Overkill Army, baby. Here's TIA. This one needs to hold 540. 540 is where we bounce right there. We're attempting a double bottom here. So I'd like it. I like it if you're watching it right now. And we got the green dot on the 4 hour. We're sitting at about $5.70. I'd enter here and use a stop loss at 540. Again, we got the green dot still on the weekly. Just make sure 540, that double bottom holds. But this looks like a good risk to reward entry right here. You're risking about 30 cents to the downside. That one doesn't look bad. BOME, Book of Meme. This thing is doing the rippity-dippity here. Okay, weekly chart, not enough data. Let's look at the daily. Daily's breaking out over its 50 EMA. The 4 hour, little extended. Wait for a green dot down here, just like you got right there at 0.007. That was a really nice trade there. Okay, big boomer. 38% move off that green dot down here. Okay, we want to buy the green dots down in this area. This is the best place to buy the green dots. Not necessarily right here, right here. I'm not saying these can't be profitable trades, but the best time to buy is the ones down here, right, when we're deep on the blue wave. Okay, when we're way up here giving you a red, I wouldn't look to enter. I'd be looking to take some off the table here, take some profits. Okay, the weekly's trying to break out as well. So again, managing your position here on the 4 hour, I'd probably take some profits up here. If it pulls back, I'd look to buy back in on the green dot down here. Just make sure this thing holds. I'm going to set your stop loss at 0.0086. That's going to be your stop loss. I'm guessing that's the bottom of this week's candle, okay, that we're getting that green candle on. So looks like another pretty risky play there. Book of meme, I don't know what they do or anything like that. But just be careful on those low cap coins. VLO, we already covered. AVAX from Mr. Lopez here. AVAX has still got a green dot on the weekly, so we're good. Okay, let's move our stop loss up to 24.50. Looking at the 4 hour chart, we could even move that thing up to right here. I'm going to call it 26 for a stop loss. Looking to buy on the next green dot on the 4 hour, as long as this dot holds green on the weekly. Okay, so buying the pullbacks on the lower time frame here, $26 is going to be your stop loss for an AVAX trade. So if you're holding that one, set your stop loss at 26. If it breaks 26, this thing could break down, okay, back all the way to 21. And you don't want to sit through that. Okay, you could sell here, and when it breaks down, you just buy back in. Okay, $26 is your stop loss there on AVAX. Last stock still holding green, so we're still bullish bias on that one. 26 is your stop loss. Cody, C-O-T-I. This is the crypto I was talking about. That one's still green as well. We're coming right back into the moving averages. Okay, getting pretty deep here on the 4 hour. So I look to buy on the 4 hour, and then I'd set a stop loss at 10 cents. 10 cents is where we bounced right here. Okay, green dot came. Rip. Okay, nice uptrend. Nice looking uptrend. Just make sure it holds 10 cents. And the last dot is still green, so we're still bullish on that one. True USD. T-R-U-U USD. Is that right? TrueFi. TrueFi, we're above the 50. No green dot yet. There is a 4 hour. I'd look to buy that 4 hour. If you're in the trade, set a stop loss where we bounced there on Thursday at 11 cents. Okay, look to buy on the next 4 hour dot there and just make sure it holds that 11 cent level. So if that green dot comes at like 11.9, then your stop loss is going to be 11.4. Your risk is less, right? Less. So wait for that confirmation. The weekly chart looks decent. There's no signal yet. So first things first, I'd wait for the weekly signal, and then I'd look for the 4 hour signal after that. But if you're in the trade, set a stop loss at 11 cents there. ASM protocol. That's getting pretty far down there on the 4 hour. We got a stop loss on this one at 0.018. Okay, 0.018 for the stop loss. Look for the green dot. I'm going to guess the weekly's green. It is green. So I'd be in this position. This is another really low cap coin. Okay, if you want to be less conservative with your stop loss, which I wouldn't recommend on a low cap name like this, okay, come down here, set your stop loss at, call it 0.018. We bounced right there. We bounced right there. We bounced right there. Okay, and we're trying to bounce again. The next green dot's where I'd enter this one on the 4 hour. That's a 4 hour chart because, again, we already got the dot on the weekly. So now that we know that the weekly direction is going to be up or could be going up for the next weeks to months, we want to manage it on the 4 hour. Okay, we want to make sure this level where we bounced right there, there, and there does not break. So 0.018 is the stop loss on ASM there. That's tradable on Coinbase, it looks like. Fort, F-O-R-T. In times. Don't like me. Fort is also green. And the 4 hour, stop loss. Let's put the stop loss at 15 cents on this one. 15 on the stop loss. Big consolidation pattern here. Are we above the 50? We're sitting right below the 50 there. So last dot's still green. I'd set the stop loss at the bottom of last week's candle. Call it 15 cents. Okay, 15 cents. You could even move it up a little bit there. I put it at 15. Make sure 15 cents holds on Fort. ARBK. This has been a ripper for the channel. Okay, big ripper here. Okay, last dot is green, but where's the stochastic here? The stochastic is now up at our profit-taking territory. So if you were entering right here off the last dot, that was at around $1.17 to $1.20. It ripped up to $2. Beautiful trade. This one we're watching the 4 hour for a pullback here. That one's on the looking to buy list as well. So looking for a green dot down here, just like you got right there at about 110. We want the same exact kind of dot. But this one, again, is going to be very much dependent on what crypto is doing. So if crypto decides to flop over and we're in one of these bear traps or bull traps, right, where we all think we're going up and then we get killed, which I don't think we're there right now. I have more of a bear trap bias right now just because the last dot on Bitcoin is green. Okay, we're still green and we're bouncing off the 50, right? We're above our mean. We're not necessarily below the mean or a long way off of the mean. Okay, this was a bull trap right here. 60K, pumped up to 73, came down to 53. That was a bull trap. Okay, so I still think we're in this stage on crypto. Again, I'll know I'm wrong if the dot flips the red, folks. If the dot flips the red, I'll know I'm wrong. Major level for Bitcoin is going to be 60K. The bottom of this big fat green candle. We need to break out over 74. If it happens, if we break out over 74, it's going to happen fast. There's going to be a big move very, very fast, and it's going to shock the world. Okay, everyone's going to pile in because they think it's going to go to $1 million. Okay, so as long as the last dot remains green, we're bullish. And I believe that was the last request for today on our ARBK again. Just looking for that pullback on the 4-hour chart. Now that we got the weekly alert, I do not like the fact that we're up here now. Okay, I do not like the fact that we're up here now. That doesn't mean we can't break out. But if you're holding this name, set a stop loss at, I mean, you're sitting at 160 right now. Set it a little bit below 150. Maybe I'm going to put it at 140. 140 is your stop loss if you want to play the continuation on that. That's a big bear hammer there, though. Not a good-looking hammer candle there. Shot all the way up to 2 and just got rejected. So I'm looking for the entry on ARBK on the next green dot down here on the wave. Okay? That's it for today's video. I'm not going to cover the watch list today, but I will go ahead and share that with you guys here. I'll go ahead and share that with you guys over here inside the Discord. This is July 29th. Again, we're live here every single day on YouTube, Twitter, dropping new videos Monday through Friday. If you guys got some value out of this, I really hope you did. Smash a like, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. God bless y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.